we make you pay a little bit more than TurboTax charges you, but not an automated service do it for you. No, an actual CPA, who is the one who preparing the return. And by that way, you want to make sure that there is no mistakes, that you will spend double the amount that you spent it the first time to correct it by filing amended return if you did something wrong. And the second thing, you would have a CPA signing off your return. And third, you would have a worry-free. If anything, God forbid, happened and you got randomly selected for audit, there's someone who prepared it that he can stand up for, and he can reply back or respond to those notices.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of New York 100. So glad for that to roll out my tongue because this is my hometown, right? So welcome to another episode. Today I'm with a very special guest, Mohammed from Accountants on Air. And we're going to be telling you why you need an accountant, right? And then we're going to be telling you the future of accounting that's going to make it much easier for you to have these services done for your business, to save you some money, and buy you back some time so that you can work in your business, right? All right, so Mohammed, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Coming on the show.
Thank you.
And would you mind, would you mind just introducing us to Accountants on Air?
Absolutely. So Accountants on Air, it's a New York-based company that has been established a few years ago. However, we were operating under a different name.
Mm-hmm. What name was you operating under?
It was under Grand Ossity. It's another accounting firm, but it was like a small team than what we are right now, and it was a little bit more traditional than the technology and the way that we are performing with our clients. So Accountants on Air, it's we call it the most convenient accounting firm nationwide because we try to make really accounting more fun and less stress for business owners, for individual in terms of when it comes to compliance, in terms of getting into their tax preparing at the end of the year or tax preparations. So we try to really make it totally different as we handle everything for you. You don't have to worry. So if you are a business, you will be dedicated to to your accountant or to your CPA that will help you to get over everything that you need virtually through computer. So you can be in the Bahamas having a really good time, and then your accounting needs are being done here. And we are a team of about CPAs, certified public accountants, and enrolled agents, financial advisors. So most of the service that you'll be getting it from a certified person.
Beautiful. And the reason why I reached out is because, there's no shortage of accountants here in New York.
Yes,
City, right?
I agree with you.
And the reason why I reached out is because it's the online platform that really gravitates towards me. You can literally be anywhere in the world and have your accounting situations be taken care of by your company. It's beautiful because right now it's tax season.
Yes.
So everybody's all muffled and buffled, but people can come to your platform, that's going to be taken care of, and it's from a certified individual.
Yes.
Right? So, first off, Mohammed, a little about yourself. So, how did you get into accounting?
Okay, great. So, when it comes to speak about yourself, kind of refresh back to a lot of ups and downs into your life.
Yeah.
So basically, I came to this country when I was 10 years ago.
Where you from?
Yeah, sure. I'm from Egypt.
From Egypt.
Yeah, I was born and raised up Egypt. I came here 2011. I used to come back and forth for just vacation, working in the summer, covering my expenses back home, as I was always independent on my own. So I came here. I was interested on continuing my education. I finished my degree back home in accounting in Egypt, but I came here to start from scratch. I finished my degrees.
Now, I want to go back to the start from scratch.
Sure.
Because I've traveled, and I coming to a new country. And did you have family here, friends?
I had only an uncle.
Okay.
But again, as you know, here really everybody's busy in what they're doing, so there is no much time to be given interactions. So I was mostly doing everything on my own.
Okay, so I really want to dive into that a little bit because I understand what that's like traveling to a new country, and people might resonate with that as well. So you come here, you didn't know anybody, so you chose accounting. Wait,
No, because I started at accounting back home.
Okay.
But I always into businesses.
Okay.
So when I came here, the opportunity for business is pretty broad and big here in US. So I decided to really get that route in order to help people and also help myself learn more about businesses.
So what was the major kind of, I would say, difference between back home in Egypt and coming here to New York?
I would say it's not about major, it's about opportunity. Okay. I would say here there's a lot of competitions, which is it creates really good opportunities between people to try something that they are passionate about, whether they succeed in it or fail, but they learn from it. So I feel like what brought me in here is really getting more opportunity, was interacting with more businesses than most people.
But also, you said there's a lot of competition. So in a city like New York, how were you able to, get yourself out there, or
I would say by challenging. I'm a very challenging person. I always like to challenge myself. Yeah. And again, the only thing that makes you stand out is quality. Okay, and also the relation between you and the person that you're dealing with. So I don't have actually like a real client and an accountant or professional relationship. We are here as a one family. So when it comes to getting your things done, we try to really make sure that you are comfortable with the person that you're working with. That's why we make sure that we assign you to an accountant or CPA who are like good in how he can really communicate with you in terms of language, in terms of locations, in terms of business field or industry. So you can make really accounting fun, as I mentioned, not just
Okay, so you said what stood out was quality. First, you said like to challenge yourself.
Yes.
So tell me about what were some of your challenges? Like,
challenging means like everyone or many people when they come to a country that has a lot of competitions, and they would say, how come I would survive around all these competitions? So they would take the decisions very short in a time and they will give up. Okay. For me, I would say no. I will try. I'll make sure that I challenge myself that I can make it happen. Okay. And that's what I did, challenging myself to make sure that it's impossible. Everything could be possible based on your determinations and your will. So that basically was.
Do you have a particular challenge that comes in mind? Because I remember like London 100, New York 100, Shanghai 100. This is my challenge to go out there and do these videos, right? That was my personal challenge. Okay. And what was your personal challenge? What was something that you said, okay, I'm gonna
my personal challenge that I can succeed on anything that I start. So whether it's in accounting, whether being as a good father or a good husband or a good entrepreneur, it doesn't really like focus on a specific field or a specific role. But here as an accountant, yes, I really wanted to make accounting different, unique. Also, like, being very close to the future that we're living in terms of technology. Everything is automated. People's time are very valuable, that they don't have to waste it waiting into the CPA office, waiting for the accountant to come to meet with them or to let them in.
And you said the key word, which is future. Yes. So I want to talk to you about this. Sure. All right. So you mentioned the future. Yes. One question I like to ask towards the end of the interview, but I'm going to ask it right now.
Absolutely.
Because this little background, I really do think that if you're a business operating in the year that you're in, for example, it's 2020.
Yes.
And you're operating like it's 2020, you're behind.
Yes, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
that's right.
You need to start thinking about the future, right? And the reason, like I said in the beginning of this video, the reason I reached out because I love the platform and it's already in alignment to where people and businesses are operating right now. Yes. You mentioned the future. How does this align with companies of today's age?
Okay, so before I answer that question, I will answer with another question to you, just to make you and other audience put back their history with Amazon and why Amazon is taking this role today and is dominating the market. Why? Because they thought ahead of time of the time that they operated or they've been established. Now you could see most of the people are purchasing or shopping through Amazon. But before, when they started, it was still a lot of people visiting the stores in person and doing that kind of in-person shopping. But they looked way long forward in terms of being where they are today. And this is the same thing. This is with shopping. Imagine with other industries as well. So here, what we in accounts on air here, what we thought of people wasting a lot of time, finding a good accountant, also like wasting a lot of time commuting to accountants and waiting outside, especially in the seasons and all that. It's a lot of waste time. That time is very valuable to spend with your family, to make more money by spending it in your business. And that's what we did here. We tried to serve everyone, no matter where you're located, in the US, 50 states, and just by clicking a button of choosing your accountant, and you will make sure that it's the person who are serving you as a certified person who knows what your industry is, what your needs are, what your questions are. So even the time of the introductions, it wouldn't take hours, it would take a few minutes. So that's how I really look into future. So I would see ourselves in 2050, if you mentioned that earlier, dominating the accounting market, and not only having regular clients as our clients, but actually accountants, as we will see more accountants willing to join our platform.
Join your platform. Okay, I was going to ask that later.
Yes, to join our platform, to also reduce the effort and the time commuting to their offices, as we have accountants, CPAs working from home. As we're speaking right now, I might have someone sitting with his 10-month son or daughter and preparing a return. Some people in India, some people in Egypt, UK, many other countries, in China, and they're still earning money and doing what they love to do in just clicking some buttons on.
So based on what you said,
yes,
you're basically buying back time for these business owners. But I want to take it 20 steps back.
Sure.
Really zoom out. Why do I need an accountant?
Why you need an accountant?
Yes.
Okay, that's very, very good question that I always ask it to our clients before we sign them up, okay? Because we need to really show them the value that they're purchasing versus just going to QuickBooks or any other platform that they can enter the data, or TurboTax, and that's it, okay? So you need an accountant because that accountant can input the same number that you inputted, but in a different way based on the knowledge that he had earned through studying and practicing, and get you different results, okay? So in our US tax code, for example, or let's say the tax codes, there's a lot of deduction that the client doesn't really know about unless he knows what he's doing. And most of the clients, they really try to go cheap with spending $80 or less for TurboTax instead of going to an accountant. Of course, a CPA is paying $400-$300. But what we do here, we make you pay a little bit more than TurboTax charges you, but not an automated service do it for you. No, an actual CPA, he is the one who preparing the return. And by that way, you want to make sure that there is no mistakes, that you will spend double the amount that you spent the first time to correct it by filing amended return if you did something wrong. And the second thing, you would have a CPA signing off your return. And third, you would have a worry-free. If anything, God forbid, happened and you got randomly selected for audit, there's someone who prepared it that he can stand up for, and he can reply back or respond to those notices.
So you get what you pay for, basically. If you pay for these speedy services, then, well, my uncle said, he's an accountant, he says, whatever you don't, they said, if it's easy to pay for, if it's a good price up front, then you're going to pay for it later.
That's true. And plus, what I also say personally to my clients, that you're not paying us from your pocket, you're paying us from your savings. Okay. So I save you, and from that saving, you pay me. If I don't save you, or I don't really add value, at least not even saving in monetary basis, but at least I'm showing you what was done wrong and how we can correct it in putting really good tax planning for the future, then you would pay me.
So I want to come to an accountant so that I can save on my taxes. I can work with someone who, because I really want to break it down, because I want people to still live as well, because not everybody's an accountant, right?
Yeah.
So I deal with video footage, and so all right, I come to an accountant because I want to make sure my taxes, save money on my taxes.
Yes.
I want to make sure it's
done correctly.
Someone done correctly.
That's correct. Right? And someone who's certified signing off on it.
Someone who's certified signing off it, so there's no mistakes. And
take the responsibility.
As a business owner, I know about it's showing right now. I know about my business. I don't know anything about it, accounting, right?
Exactly.
So
let me stop you here too. You might not know everything about your business. You might know how to do your business, but you might not know what the potentials of your business for your personal, taxes and how could it affect your even future with your family in terms of investment opportunities that you can take from having that business, and that's what it comes based on the new tax law. It helps a lot of business owners now that if you really don't know what are the opportunities, you will miss a lot.
Okay, and I think that's what I want to get at, because I know as entrepreneurs, it's in our, I would say, DNA to want to do everything, and we have a limited. What I'm trying to get at is that we have a limited knowledge. I know how to film, I know how to edit, I know how to do what's in my confines of my knowledge, but accounting is not. That's not what I know. So
exactly,
by going maybe on a faster online service, that's maybe a cheap service, it might seem good, it might seem easy, but in fact, it might actually be detrimental to tax.
And that's real fact, because most of our clients we get them from mistakes that they have done on their own. So a lot of clients who were using, you could name it about TurboTax or any other platform online. They do the returns, and then after few years after, like later, they get a notice of unreported income. You did something wrong. You shouldn't have done that. You should have done that, and then they spend more to correct it, and more time to be spent to collect all this data together. So we cutting this short from the beginning. That you're having someone who knows what he's doing, give you that peace of mind, so you can actually focus on other things and become more profitable. And for business, the same thing.
Beautiful. So actually, qualifications. Hard work or smart work?
Smart work.
Smart work, for sure.
But you have to add some hard work to it too, because smart work without hard work, you don't have to really spend hours and hours getting everything done, but you have to manage your time efficiently.
If you can go back in time to you were 20 or just graduating university, what would you have told yourself?
I'd have told myself to start my journey over again.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Again, because I started early in my life through this, and I feel like it was the right time to start it. So if I go back in time, I would do the same as I'm doing right now.
Okay. And last question I like to ask all of my guests. First, before I do that, like I said, I want to acknowledge your work ethic.
Thank you.
Knowledge the deep knowledge you have about your industry. Appreciate that. The forward thinking you have, with this business. Like I said, it really does align with where we're going as people. Even before the camera started rolling, I wanted to talk about this, but we didn't get to. You mentioned your office, and you're operating a company with not a lot of employees. So this is where companies are going. So everything is going in that direction. Those computers, that phone, everything's virtual. So I love that forward thinking. Last question I like to ask all of my guests. New York, in one word.
Diversity.
AccountantsOnAir.com. Beautiful. Would you mind just sharing your platform too?
AccountsOnAir.com. Anything you need in regards accounting, just feel free to reach out to us. We'll make it fun.
The future of accounting, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys next one. Remember, be great. Cheers.